Hi folks, right, I'll go to do an acrylic. I've got light yellow, vermilion, ultramarine, burnt umber. Well, I haven't put my black out, I like black. And I'm going to, black, I'll use black. No, we won't use black today because I want to do a sort of a snow scene of the River Wandle. This is a 8x10 board, MDF, which I've just roughed up and given a good coat of PVA glue. So we'll start with I'll put in some distant trees, wintry trees. That's just blue and burnt umber. Now the river, I'm going to go that way as usual. Because if I photograph this bit of the river Wandle, you have to go over a lot of bracken and nettles and briar, blackberries on the banks, and you don't see much of the river unless they trim it all back. So you have to risk life and limb of being washed away in the deluge of the water about 2 foot deep. So I'll just carry on like that. Some over here, a bigger one there. It's nice and rough. I've got a little bit of that this what is it called? The phone's going mad this morning. Wet Look styling gel, super jug, £4.50. Thought it was a bit pricey, really. I'm sure there are other gels that do act as a flow medium for acrylic, but unless somebody recommends, I don't really know. So let's have that down there, coming down there. Bit of distance there. We'll be coming up to Merton Abbey. That's the only mill working on the Wandle. It's only just to provide lighting for the pottery in an old William Morris warehouse. Well, the factory. When I say factory, the 18th or 19th century, and they were heavily labour intensive, of course. And the mill itself there was much more water in the Wandle then, although it was badly polluted, and it came back to life in the 1960s. So I'll show that there. So we'll have the river there, similar to what I did the other day, but I just want to do a different take on it. Now I'll use this varnish brush. I love these brushes. They're £3 or £4. They're not expensive. Got another one here, which I still damp from priming with the PVA glue, but they last for years. I've had these, whoa, years. Okay, so I'll put let's do a bit of sky. Now how are we going to do the sky? I want a cloudy sky, so I'm going to use a lot of white, burnt umber, get some of that gel on. I would use the hair gel myself, but I haven't got much. Haven't got any hair, that is. So a nondescript sort of sky, laden with snow, threatening. I'll put some brighter colour in there somewhere. I'm just using the red and the yellow. All good going, isn't it, for Monday morning? I think there is a tendency to over-elaborate the sky and the landscape. And with the snowy sky, because there's not a lot of a lot of contrast in the sky. Okay, right, now we'll add a little bit of, I'll put a brush in the water and add a little bit of light. Centre of the light, there's a little bit. Just a little breaks in the cloudy sky. Right, okay, let's get some. Okay, how are we doing on the light then? Do I need to brighten up? It's pretty accurate actually, it's on the screen. So brighten this up a little bit. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's go back to the banks here. Not a lot of detail going in there. That's good. I'm just going to imagine them covered in snow. So we'll just put in some blue and white. A bit of umber. This will all be in the shadow, the shape of the banks. Murky there, a bit murky. Bit of umber. Okay, make it dark now. Out of those two colours, there's a bit of red. Right. I'm really making this up from memory, really. Most of my stuff. For those that follow Ron Ransom Disciples on Facebook, Joe, my mate Joe, one of my patrons, I should be paying him really. He's just producing some brilliant work. He lives in the Lake District and is producing the most wonderful paintings. More darks. So we're going to just show the snow. How good dark. Got highlights on there. A bit of red in there. Let's have a bit of yellow. I haven't used yellow much, have I? And I can dry brush over this, take some lovely colour over it, some, well, off-white. Right. Okay, coming on. Covered up most of that now. Now I'll take highlights now. Right, clean the brush. Right, I'm going to go back on the trees now. I'm not going to do any more to the sky. It's thin, and here and there the ground is showing through. The ground colour being the colour of the MDF. You don't need to prime it with a colour unless you particularly want to. And the one thing about painting on white surface is that whatever you put on looks too dark by contrast. So you can tend to over lighten it. And when you've done the whole picture, it's all far lighter than you thought you wanted in the beginning. All right, let's get some of those sky colours just in there. That vermilion is very, very strong compared to the other colours. Also another channel I'm on, which is British Impressionists. It's not exclusively British, but there's some superb artists there. Andre Palette and Michel Plebac, fantastic artists. They can show with few brushstrokes a whole range of impressions of any sort of landscape scene, just breathtaking. But then I like simple painting. I don't like it over elaborated. Can have a nice detailed landscape and then a detailed sky. So what happens is one competes with the other. So your eye goes between the both. Right, okay, we're going to put some really good dark colours on there as reflections. You do tend to get very dark compared to the snow. That's the problem. It's not that the reflection is dark so much as it's the contrast between the snow and the shadow areas or the reflection areas. So let's go in and do a bit of this and that. A bit of white in there now. I like this is a lot burnt umber with watercolours. So we're going to have the trees here, not coming down there. Showing bare leaves, bare twigs. Put some light back in there, and they'll dry a bit. Let's have some warm colours in there now. See in there. Catching a bit of that light. Here the brush. More, just get some more of that colour in here. Right, now I want a very light mix of ultramarine and the burnt umber. this little bit here, the mill, like an Abbey Mill, lost in the trees, of course. Okay. So I've kept this there away from the middle. Just dry brushing over the tops of that. It's a lovely yellow. It's a what is it? French. It's a the Franc. It's a very, very good quality. Not going to put any branches in or anything silly like that. Just want shapes. Right, okay, let's get in some of that snow now. Using my old brushes. Let's start with a bit of reflection. Bit of medium in there. Medium, I mean hair gel. Let's cover that in a bit there. See what I mean? You're going to have really dark now. A bit of red in it. I'm quite liking that. Right. I'm just letting that dry up a bit because I want to put some snow in on top of that, or here and there, by using some dry brush. Now we want the snow area now. It's all a bit warm, lighter than what we've got on there. Just ultramarine, a lot of white. Okay. I know it's not winter, but hey, we're artists, aren't we? We can paint whatever season we like. A bit of tightening up here. Let's have the light. I just had a thought, a bit of light. Yeah, where am I in there? Sketching those trees in there. So things happen when you're making it up as you go along, and you're not copying anything. Just a bit of sun there, just justifying there. Don't you just love painting on a Monday morning? A lot of you have got to work, but I don't know if I like that now. I could change it. Just blend that up a bit. Just lose it a little bit. That background is a little bit darker than that. Otherwise it will look like cloud. I don't really want that to happen. Right. Go back with that, just catching that bit of light. Don't like the shape of that, I'm going to alter it. Just going into the murk there, now just a bit of that colour in there, just in case that shows in the frame. Right. Put a bit of warm. Shine through. Just warm it up here a little bit. Right, now with the water, come back with those colours. A bit lighter than that. Well, just adding a bit of dry brush. That also sort of sends it back into the distance a bit more. Right, let's get some of this blue shadow here. It's a beautiful day in London. It's quite warm. It's about 15 degrees at the moment in my garden. Right. Now, let's have some real highlights in white. Now, I'll clean that brush. I love this brush. What's left of it? And I'll put it in a frame and we'll have a look at it. I'll have to alter my setup back for that. I've got the board at about 30 degrees. That way it's easier to film. I'm going to have a look, see what the picture's like. Right, okay. Now, just a slight tint of blue in it. Or we could have a bit of colour. I'm not clever enough to imagine laying on branches, but snow, but I'm just giving you the impression of snow. So you look at it and think, oh, it's a snow picture. Then find fault with it. That's that. Right, okay, let's put it in a frame. I'll move that out of the way. I might use that again. I'll have to alter my camera, but we'll see what it's like. I gave the old little white frame a facelift with a bit more white. It's going to get a bit dirty. Bear with me while I untangle my fingers from the masking tape. Put a couple of tacks in there. Right, talk among yourselves. It won't fit the frame. Just as you can hear. Okay. Right, okay, well, there we are. Another little picture bites the dust, as they say. Right, I quite like that. I'm not going to put any figures going along the path that leads or converges there. There's nothing on this side, no pathways on that side. Right, I think that looks quite reasonable. Colour intensity, take that down. Intensity. Contrast, okay, brightness. Too bright. Well, there we are. That's a nice little painting for you to be getting on with. I'll make a trailer of it for YouTube. No, not YouTube. I don't need to make a trailer because I'm going to show it on Patreon, am I? Anyway, there are lots, several hundred, well, getting up to 300 paintings exclusive to Patreon. It'd be nice if some of you contributed towards your entertainment. This is a YouTube one for my mates on YouTube. Got to clean the brushes, just otherwise, if you let them the paint dry out, you've lost your brush. Most definitely. Okay, well that's Monday morning over. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye bye.